Hello, hello. Um, Good afternoon, good evening, good whatever for people that are here. This is the first time that I'm trying to do this stream on this channel. Basically, the idea is that I'll be doing my bindrune. I have been doing that for basically 6 months every day. It's been quite interesting. So, welcome for everybody that are here. Um, the main language for this will be English, but if you speak another language, so um, welcome. I'll be speaking sometimes Portuguese too because it's my mother language. But yeah, so welcome. For people that doesn't know me, I'm the Rune Lord Sage. I have been studying runes for 20 years, a little bit more, and I have been doing the bind runes every day. I don't know if the audio is okay. Let me just try to check here because I have no idea if it's working or not. Oh yeah, it's working. Good. So yeah. Basically these bind runes are something that, as I said, I have been doing that for quite some time right now. I know that the quality of the stream is not the best one, but it's done directly from the tablet where I'm drawing. So yeah, I know that it's not the best, but it's kind of interesting to be able to watch the process. Basically, what happens is that I have on Instagram account, and this Instagram account, basically every Wednesday I open a kind of request box where you can ask for a bind rune. My process is not a little bit different. What happens is that I don't try to choose the runes, but basically I do a kind of spread of runes to kind of get what the person needs for that. So that's basically what we are doing here today. That's what we'll be doing here basically every day. My idea is that I'll be doing this stream every day if possible, but every day I have a bad rune that it's on my tweet in my Instagram account. So let me just check here what was the latest request. As I said, I have basically every Wednesday. There is the account. I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, there is on the my about here. There is already the Instagram account link, which is good. So you can check there. And if you like rooms and this kind of thing, feel free to follow my account and maybe ask for a bind rune next Wednesday. So let me check here. There was some requests that were done. Okay, so someone did a request for a bind rune for to show the truth. We don't know exactly about which truth the person said, but yeah. Again, if you are here, welcome. If you don't speak in English, no problem. Let me put this in Portuguese. Bem-vindo, se você está chegando aqui. Se você não fala inglês, não tem problema nenhum. Eu vou falar muito mais inglês aqui dentro, mas se você fala português, sinta-se livre para poder conversar comigo pelo chat e eu vou responder em português, se for o caso, e fazendo tradução para inglês no momento. Se você não entender alguma coisa que eu falar, opa, Double Death seguiu a gente, muito obrigado. Double Death, yeah. Fala Camilo. Bem-vindo, tranquilo? Brigadão aí por seguir. So, let's go. Someone asked for a bind rune to show the truth. You can hear probably the sound of me getting my runes. As I said, my process is a little bit different. I don't choose the runes normally. So, yeah. Okay, let's see here what we get for a bind rune to show the truth. Well, one thing that I say normally is that my process is a little bit different. As I said, I don't choose the rooms. Fala Ladoff, tudo bem? Valeu por seguir a gente, valeu por tudo. My process is a little bit different. What happened normally is that I, instead of choosing the runes, I do a spread. So I'll be casting 2 runes here to get the point for this bindrune today. Let me get 1 here, Lagos, which is kind of interesting, and more 1, and we have here, okay, so kind of interesting, especially for the what the person was asking. So normally my process, and this is the interesting point about watching this live, is exactly to try to understand how I do my process, especially for people that just see the final results on the Instagram. So first of all, let's try to think. So we have Lagos, and then we have Soilu. These are the 2 rooms that we'll have, that will be using to do this bind today. So of course that as this one, the Lagos, was the first one, we'll try to put more kind of focus on that than the Soilu, although we want them to be showed together. And again, of course, that sometimes depends on how we are going on this bind rune. This can be a little bit crazy. Maybe the runes are not really kind of transparent on the first look. Maybe it's so crazy the process that we are doing, or how we are interrogate them, that they become a little bit crazy. So let's just try to start to thinking about a little bit here. One thing that normally I do is that I try to use a little bit kind of mirroring the rooms, this kind of thing, especially if you are trying to create some kind of art with that. So let's just look here. We could try to do something like, first of all, start with Soilu, because then I can know what will happen with this one. This is a kind of, as you can see, there is 2 Soilu here. They are kind of mirrored, against each other. And we could put a Lagos here and try to do something like that. I could even try to go a little bit more up here and connect, for example, this thing here to create something like this. And these will be, for example, a kind of interesting image for us to try to work on that. Sometimes I go even crazier, and I kind of duplicate the things and mirror them to upside down. So you can see, for example, that a very, very different and interesting at the same time images start to be created here. Of course, there it's too much strong on this area here. For example, this area and this area are too much strong right now, but even with that, the image starts to create here. It's quite very, very interesting. We could go a little bit more. Let me see here. One idea that I had right now is that if we are going by this idea, for example, let me just go back here. Just a moment. And if we go, for example, we could try to do something like this. So I'll put here. So we have symmetry for both sides. And I create something. So we have now 4 Soilus that are interligating each other. If I just try to see what will happen, so this creates a kind of very, very interesting idea, as you can see. So we have 4 Soilus connected with each other, and because of that, basically they create this kind of shape, which could be something interesting for us to work. And then what I'll do is just to have some idea and see if this could be interesting, is that I'll just try to see what will happen, for example, if I do something like this. So for example, in this case, I have a kind of interesting shape. Of course, that one thing that I always do is that I go to my Instagram account and just try to take a look, for example, if I did something very, very similar that I don't want to repeat. I don't think that I create this shape before. but I'll try to take a look. Of course, that's what I'm doing here, and can be a little bit strange, but okay. Jonathan Devoto, thank you for following. Obrigado por seguir. So let's see. Although I like the idea, I don't like that I'll be not kind of interlacing them, but it's a kind of idea. I know that I created already something similar to that, so that's why I'm trying to take a look here. Yep. No, it's not. Oh, interesting. I have some shape, but it's not exactly the same. Caio Branco! Obrigadão aí por estar seguindo. Bem-vindo. And of course that there is a point that I don't like is that is that it's over here my symbol, my signature that I put in all my binds. So that's something that I don't like too. So yeah, it's a kind of good shape, but not the way that I want. Of course that we could try to do something different. In this case, for example, just to try, if I like this shape, I could try to go with something more different. For example, I could try to go with something that comes from the middle and then targets here. And if I do the same on the top. Kusa, do you mind if the image creates another rune? For example, almost we have a break-on there. Yeah, no, I don't. Especially because there is one very, very interesting thing is that if we go by that, there is one student of mine that says that if we go for that, everything is ISA, which is true. So it's very, 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 very complicated to try to create a bind where other runes are not kind of created by that. So that's why normally, if something like that happens, I try to use the way that I'm kind of intricating the runes, interlacing them to show kind of what are them. I really like the symmetry and the intricate patterns. Yeah, that's the point. I really like that, Kyle. The way that they are kind of becoming together, it's very, very interesting. It was something that I started to do, and I really like the results in several of them, and I try to do that more and more. Yeah, that's the point. If you look for that, and yeah, there are several other rules. We can say that there is. Let me just go with other thing here. So if you look, for example, for this pattern right now that we are saying, we could say, let me just put with another color to be easier to see what I mean. I don't remember how to put the color on this thing. Why it's not showing? It's here. So let me just put another color here. So if you look, for example, on this pattern that we are right now, yeah, I'm on the right layer. We can see, for example, that we have here an inwas. If we look for that way, we can say that at some small perspective, we have here thurisas. We can say what more that we have here. Looking this way, depends on how you are looking. You can say that we have Wunyu here. So it's especially when you are creating these complicated bind runes where you are trying to put several shapes together and this kind of thing, it will be very, very common that will be creating other types, other images and this kind of thing. So yeah, I don't think that it's even possible to try to do that without creating other runes. So yeah. So I like the shape, and there is some interesting things that we can do to try to interlace them and do something. So we'll start to do that, and now is where the fun begins. Okay, so what we'll do is that now I have a kind of basic shape that I want to go, and I don't want to kind of have more than one line overlapping another. So normally what I do is that we'll go here with the ruler, and we'll start to draw here, and then okay, So I have the first part. As you can see, normally I'll go creating layers, which is kind of crazy sometimes, but it's better than do something and on the then just discover that yeah, there is some lines that will not be able to overlap correctly. So I'm on a new layer, so I'll pass here a little bit so I can kind of correct the shape. So I'll go here on that to remove the, you know, what I don't want from it. Okay. So we know that at some perspective, because the way that I'm doing that, I know that this line here on the middle will be the line that are doing the Soilo. So let's go for that right now. Okay. Again, what I'll do is that I'll do that. You can see that it's passing a little bit, but we'll fix that in just a second. So okay, perfect. I could go even in a way that as I'm trying to do that in this perspective, I could remove kind of all this part here so it stays just up to the line that is doing the Soilo, and that's not really a problem. And that's the interesting thing about using this kind of bind, is that you'll have several of them here right now. Okay, this is on the other layer. Okay, now we are doing the small ones here, and these small ones, especially because the way that we are trying to create this Soilo is that I realized one thing right now. I cannot do that exactly this way. Okay, let's just go back here. That's quite common, I have to say. And I'll do one thing here to make it easier, is that I'll use this another tool here. Is kind of a symmetric tool, but working a different way to do this, because then I know it will be easier for me to join a little bit up. I think that here will go. Yeah, so now the corners are exactly centered on the point that I want. And yes, exactly, that's the kind of thing, you know, the norns, they kind of weigh the destiny of human, of the not only human but the, you know, the norns weigh the destiny of men and the gods and all this kind of thing. And doing these bind runes is exactly that for me. You know, you are. I normally say that I don't create bind runes. What happens is that I just kind of materialize the things that already exist somehow. Let me put it this way. So here there is some interesting thing, is that we know that I will be wanting to came from the corner here to the center. So we'll do that line together, all together right now. So let's try here. Yep, good. So now we have that. I hope I was on another layer. Good. Let's put more one layer here right now, and we'll do this small part here. That small part is basically the line that is doing the small leg of Soilo. So here we have it. Perfect. So at some perspective, we can say that we have already our basic form shaped already. Yeah, we have it shaped. Good. So now we can start to play a little bit. So for example, as I said, I want to give more more force, let me put this way, to the Lagos. So what I'll do is that in every corner that I have the Lagos, I'll be basically breaking a little bit the Soilo. So basically it seems that the Lagos is passing over the Soilo. So what we'll do here now, we just came looking where is the lines that we want. So for example, this one, I'll cut a little bit here. and I'll cut a little bit here. And on this other one here, no, that's not the right one. Is this one? Yeah, this one. So we'll cut a little bit here too, and here a little bit too. So now we have this form that seems that the Lagos is passing over the Zoilo, at least on this point. Normally what I do is that I like to really intricate them. So what we'll do right now is that I'll pass here the opposite. So if here it's passing over, here it will pass under. So let's see where is the yeah, is this one here. So now here we'll pass it under, move to here, pass it under. Probably one thing that I'll do, that I could do, especially to still keep the sense of Lagos, is that I could remove this part internally. We'll probably do some tests about that later to see how it feels. So let's see. So now Lagos is passing here. We have here. Now we have on the bottom here. So now it came to the sense that, as I said, this line here at some perspective is forming the Zoilo. And as I said, I want the Lagos to have kind of more focus than Zoilo. So what we'll do is that I'll pass the Lagos leg, let me put this way, over the Zoilo. So if it's opposite, so we can go by this way. And now let's just find the layer. Yeah, this one here. We'll remove here on the top and remove here on the bottom. Although that's kind of work, there are some things that I don't like on it. First of all, I have to change because the layers here are a little bit not exactly totally aligned. So let's first of all just change for symmetry on the top and bottom. And I saw one thing, instead of just putting that over together, I'll do here on the bottom because that's easier. And instead of doing this way, in this case I'll go here, is that I'll pass one over and one behind. So for example here it passes over, so here I'll do its pass behind. Oops, go 90, yep, okay. So here it will pass, I want here to pass, I want here to pass behind, and now it's big that it's not even oops. And go 0, yeah. Now the rule. Okay, so now here it does not look okay. Let's see now. Yeah, now it seems to be okay. And I'm doing that on the wrong layer. Yes, I was doing that on the wrong layer. So this one will do pass behind. So I do that here. And I'll go back because I want to use that on the mirror edges. So this one, it's on the top, and here on the other side it will be on the bottom, and this one will pass behind. Okay, now we'll do the opposite. So we'll change the rule here to the other side, and not the other side. In reality, we want the 90 degrees. And here we want to change this guy to pass behind. And then it will give this impression that while one is going over, the other is going behind, and create this sense that they are interlaced together. Okay, and I'll do one interesting thing. We'll do a test here. Probably I'll kind of split a little bit the Zoilos here. So when we are looking, at least on this middle here, it gives us a sense that they are separate. But we'll try that later. Let's just go over here to this part on the top. and we'll follow the same thing. So here it goes on the 45 degrees. We'll go to this guy here and remove it from here, and remove it from here, and now we change to this way, go to this guy, and now we change here, and again this gives us the sense that it's interlaced. Perfect. One thing that I can do, and this can be very interesting, and I will do that right now, is that we'll just mirror here again, and I'll do a small cut on the lagos here, so it seems that they are separate one from another, so it gives even more the sense that is a lagos. Yeah, that's becoming quite interesting. Perfect. As I said, I don't like that the lagos is so big that it's kind of sensing a little bit strange, so we'll cut this part on the middle here. And to not have problems, what I'll do is that I'll remove that and put that to another layer. So if later on I want to use that somehow, I can still use that because I have it, but it will be I have the possibility now to remove that and keep something like this, which I have to say that I'm liking more because it gives the sense of lagos, because there is no connection on the middle. And now what we'll see is that, as I said, we'll do a small cut between these soilos that we have here. So let's, oops, I want first on this layer, so a small cut here. I don't know if this cut will be good or not, but we'll try that and see how it stays. And now on this one here, okay, and now let's just go back because I used a different one. I should be using this one, I think. Yep, I'm using this one. I think that will be working. Yep. Okay, now we have the soilos a little bit separated, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, really like the result of that. If I remove now the back here that I have, that's kind of a very interesting shape. We can see the soilos being tied together. Each soil is tied together to another, and we still can see the lagos in a very good way and shape. Good. So now what we'll do is that what I call it cleaning, is that on the points where I cut it, for example, for here, there is something on the layer behind. So now we'll just clean that. So for example, came here and clean it. Okay. For sure this layer has some things to be cleaner too, so let's start to hide the other layers. Yeah, you can see here, for example, that we have here. Okay, I don't think that this layer needs any more cleaning. This one has some cleanings to be done too, so we'll be removing here. And we can see here, that's kind of interesting. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to remove completely, is that this layer has something here. You see, basically what happens is that as I draw them together, this small part here will not be able to be removed, but I'll leave it there so we don't have any problems. It's connected to, it's connected to this way. If I try to remove that, it will kind of create some problems, so let's leave it there and not worry about it. Okay, perfect. This one, it's passing behind. No, it's not, although yes, it is. So if I look here, there is still some small part here. So let me just confirm that I'm on the right layer. Yeah, there is some small part here. We can clean that. Perfect. This one, Yeah, this one I don't know if you'll be using. As I said, it's a different one, but let's leave it here. No really top. Okay, I'll switch to português, and for people that are watching that in English, we'll go again. No really top, você também fez as bindings assim, reforçando o significado a partir da tiragem e deixando mais pessoal, mas por que você não faz escolhendo as runas pelo significado? Vejo alguns bytes sendo feitos assim, por exemplo, Twice and Switch para adquirir sabedoria. Não seria mais fácil para a compreensão? Eu vou responder primeiro em português, depois eu mudo para o inglês. Cara, sim, se você está fazendo uma coisa com este tipo de intenção, se você está criando um bind com uma determinada intenção, obviamente que você escolher as runas, você vai ter talvez resultados melhores. A questão toda é que para esse processo que eu faço, eu tento partir da seguinte premissa: não necessariamente o que seria melhor para aquela situação é exatamente o que é melhor para você naquele momento. Saca? Tipo, você às vezes quer uma determinada coisa, vamos dizer dessa forma, e essa coisa nem sempre é o que você precisa, saca? Então, a ideia de fazer esse bind rune fazendo uma tiragem é porque eu não quero escolher, eu quero que, tipo, vamos dizer dessa forma, que as runas te digam o que você precisa para poder alcançar aquela determinada situação que você está pedindo, entendeu? Então, assim, obviamente você pode fazer uma tiragem ou você fazer um bind baseado numa escolha de runas. Eu já fiz algumas coisas desse tipo, mas para esse processo aqui, que normalmente é chamado de adágio mágico, eu prefiro não fazer. Eu prefiro deixar com que as runas falam o que você precise para poder alcançar o objetivo que você está se propondo. So, basically what happens is that, now switch to English, a lot of, se você tiver ainda mais alguma coisa que você queira perguntar em relação a isso, pode botar aí que a gente responde, tá ok? Basically what happens is that it's quite common that you find on the internet people doing buying rooms, but basically what happens is that they are choosing the rooms that they will be using for doing that bind rune, and I saw right now that I did something wrong. Shit. So let's try to fix that here. I cut here on this point here, while my idea is that it was cut here and this kind of thing. So we'll fix that right now. So yeah, this is the guy that will have to rework. So basically what happens is that while normally people, you'll find several things about people kind of choosing the rooms. Jay Nomura, thank you for following. Se você é brasileiro ou brasileiro, obrigado por seguir. Basically, what happens is that normally people are doing choosing the runes to doing the things, while normally my process is a little bit different. I kind of asks the runes about what you should be trying to get for that. So it's a process a little bit different. I know that it's not the normal process that you can see normally people doing, but I have to say that the results that I have been getting for that, it's quite interesting, you know. As I said, instead of trying to get what you want, you are getting what you need for that thing. So that's the kind of interesting point for me, at least, you know, that I'm not trying to force my vision over the runes. It's kind of the opposite. The runes are giving to me what I need for that. And that's kind of incredible, I have to say. So yeah, you can choose, of course, the runes that you want for doing something, but I really recommend that you try to do something like that. We are calling that the magic adage, that really brings some kind of very, very interesting results when you are, open to that. Okay, now we have to basically clean here again this guy, right? We cutted that, so let's do that quickly here, and we are almost on the final already for this bind rune. Just to see here, I think that now we are on the right thing. Yeah, we are. Now we cut here. Perfect. and we do the process here to pass behind. So now we came here and pass behind here, and we pass behind here. Okay, now is the point that I said I cannot do that completely together. I realize it right now because I have to do back. If the one thing here before, it's because this tablet, it has some kind of thing that when you are doing some things on the vertical, it goes with a more stronger, line than the other. So yeah, let's do that here, because then these spaces here we don't have to rework. Then I just have to rework a little bit here, but it will be easier than the other side. So now we'll remove it from here, we'll remove it from here. Now again we remove what was left here. A lot of, does that answer your question? If not, I can go over again. There is a very, very interesting thing just to say, is that, for example, if you're kind of hiring me, let me put this way, to do a bind rune for you, where you are kind of trying to do some kind of magic with that, yeah, most probably I'll not be doing that this way unless you ask to, which can happen. But if you are kind of doing that for magic uses, normally I'll be choosing the runes, or at least working with you to be choosing the runes. But for this process that I do on my account on the Instagram, normally this is the process that I'm doing. And again, we are getting very, very interesting results. So yeah, most probably is the way that will be continuing to go for that, for these things. But again, if you try to hire me to create some magical thing for you, yeah, we'll be probably choosing the runes for sure. Okay, now let's again clean here. We don't know if this will be enough, but we'll see. So yeah, all the sides seems to be okay. This space, yeah, perfect. Again, so now we have it again. We still keep here the small thing here, which not that I like it, but yeah, I think that that's kind of good. Now let's just again clean the things here. Oh, I removed the thing, so okay, so cleaned the spaces. I think that we cleaned everything, but just to confirm, yeah, cleaned. This guy does not have anything. This is cleaned. This one you are not using on the final, and this is cleaned. Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, now we have the bind. Oh, I realized something right now for some. Oh, oops, just a moment. Yeah, this is the line that we'll be using. So let me delete this layer here before I forget. Yep. Yeah, good. So now we have our bind rune. As I said, we can still see. Ok, respondeu sim, show. So we still can see here the Lagos and the Soilo. As I said, although we have more Soilos than Lagos, it's still kind of tied together. So they are still interlaced. You can see Lagos kind of easier than you can see Soilos. So our target was achieved by that. And now the only thing that normally I do and that I really like is that we'll put something on the back so it's not so clean. Normally the way that I do that is that I just go over something like 16 repetitions on this thing here, and then we can do some crazy things. So for example, let's take here, we'll still use the same color, we'll just use some less opacity, and I could just go do something like that to create some kind of image on behind. Or one thing that normally I like to do quite a lot is that I use some kind of oval shape or circle shape So let's see what will happen, for example, if I do something like this. Whoa, yeah, perfect. Here we are. So we have here our bind. It's interesting when I try to do that, to try to give some imagery, and as the person is kind of to show the truth. We have Soilo, the sun. So having this shape here on the middle, it's kind of interesting for me. So yeah, here we are. Now you have a kind of inside vision about what is my process to create a bindrune. This again will be on my Instagram account, and I hope you like it. So this is for today. And as I said, most probably few people like this kind of idea. I'll be doing that every day so you can see the process for everyone that I'm creating. Okay, for everybody that was here, that came to watch me, and that followed today, so Double Death, 02 Camilo, Aladovs, Guy, Kyle, the person that followed today. So let's check here. Remember, Jonathan Devoto, Jay Nomura, and Sky, and yeah, I think that's the people. Guy, yeah, there is an Omni Digital. I don't know if this is who I think that it is, but if yes, thank you too. Yeah, and even that it's not, thank you too. So thank you a lot. As I said, probably tomorrow we'll be back with more One Bind Room. Have a good night, evening, afternoon, whatever. You could save the process to make the speed drawers. Most probably I'll do that. Most probably I'll do that. I'll see how it is, but most probably I'll do something like that. I really like the idea of having the speed draw. So, thank you a lot, and see you tomorrow. Bye.